My name is Eric. I'm a full-time digital nomad living out of my Subaru Forester for the past year now as I'm traveling around the country, and today I'm escaping normal life in Yosemite National Park.
Regular days would turn into never-ending weekends, ordinary way. No, taking on it contra. You plus me up, ripple effect. One dreaming architect. Hey, what do you say?
All right, well, welcome to home for the night. If you go that way, you go to Mammoth, and if you go to that way, you go to Highway 395, which will take you up the street to Yosemite, so that's where I'm headed tomorrow. All right, I am doing a hike this morning to a place called Union Point. The trailhead's at Glacier Point, and Glacier Point is easily one of the most popular places in the whole park, and for good reason. Stellar views of Half Dome and Nevada Falls, and can't think of the falls below that one, but just gorgeous, gorgeous views of the entire point. You can even see around the corner and see into the valley. Just breathtaking views. It took me an hour and a half to get from my campsite this morning to Glacier Point. It's a very long, windy road, but this trail that I'm on this morning is only like 4 miles round trip. It's not bad. 1,100 feet elevation gain, I think. But everyone online on all trails said this is easily one of their favorite hikes they've ever done. So should be stellar views all the way there, including this one. Check this out. That is Half Dome. Amazing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and end my hike here. Check this out. All right, forget that terrible waterfall thing I just showed you a second ago. Check this out. Postcard right there. Damn. All right, that's it. This is where I live now. This is where you can find me. Send my mail right here to this rock. All right, this is Union Point. Ugly. All right, I just got done with the hike, and as amazing as Glacier Point is, I think I'm gonna head on down the street a little bit. I'm gonna try to get to Sentinel Dome. I was there last time. I've been to Yosemite before, but it's been like 8 years. Last time I was at Sentinel Dome, all the clouds had moved in, so you couldn't see anything. But I remember when the park ranger was telling us that Sentinel Dome was actually, she thought it was better than Glacier Point. So I'm gonna head over there, although parking already is pretty packed, so I don't know what it's gonna be like. All right, well, I'm standing on top of Sentinel Dome, and the views from up here are absolutely stunning. This is a 360-degree view of the entire park. And the hike coming up to Sentinel Dome is actually part of another hike called Taft Loop, so I'm going to take that back to the car. But right now, I'm just up here having a snack and taking it all in.
We said we'd be always you and me, for better or worse, bound together. your pride, my faults. Thought I'd cancel so sad. We're made to withstand the tide of the ocean.
All right, I got done hiking today. I did 2 trails, which came out to, actually I hiked 9 miles. I just thought about it. I was like, oh man, I wasn't planning on doing 9 miles a day, but 2 of the hikes that I wanted to do were up on Glacier Point Road, and Glacier Point Road takes an hour and a half to get to. In fact, it's taken me an hour and 14 minutes just to get back to my campsite right now. Just super, super annoying. But I didn't want to drive all the way back up this road later this week and do the other hike I was looking at. So I just went ahead and did it. But they were gorgeous, breathtaking. It's definitely a favorite in the park to come check it out. But yeah, I gotta have an hour and 14-minute drive just to go find a place to sleep. I really wish there was dispersed camping in the park. I understand why they don't do it, because then they would have people stay here for like weeks on end. But if they had some sort of like 7-day rule or something, be nice. Make it so much easier. And I checked, there's no campgrounds available till July. I wish there was. I would probably just get a campground honestly, just make it so much easier. But yeah, there's nothing available till July. All right, well, I found home for tonight. It's not too bad. It's got a lot of dirt, which I don't care for because then my feet just get really dirty before I have to go to bed. I have to like wash them off and everything. But it is nice and quiet. It's very level. And that is something you don't think about too often when you do dispersed camping, is how level is it going to be when I get there? Am I going to be sleeping at a slant? And, you know, the car is just so small. Usually I don't have to worry about too much, but I do feel it. So I try to find a pretty level spot. So this spot is pretty level, and I just got here, so I really don't know how quiet it's going to be, although it's very quiet right now. We'll see if this is an active road or not. But what I really wanted to show you is, because it has been a very long, sweaty day, I'm about to take a shower outside. And I've shown this before, but in case you've never seen that before, I have what's called a road shower. It is a black steel tube mounted on the top of my car, and it is black and is steel so that the sun beats down on this all day long and heats this water up. This is a 4-gallon model, but they do make 7-gallon models, and I think that's the biggest. I'm not really sure. Anyways, you fill it up here with this radiator cap, fill up the water, you pressurize it right here, which I'm going to do with this electric pump plugged into the car. And then I have a shower head, which is there. And this is a RV shower head. So what that means is it has this lever here. You press this one side, the water will start to come out. And when you don't need the water to come out, like you're just lathering up or something, you press this, the water will stop coming out. And that way you can preserve how much water you have in there, because 4 gallons is not bad. I usually only use about 3 gallons when I shower, but I have gone through the whole 4 gallons. So you don't want to be just wasting water out of here when you don't need it to come out. So that way you do have this to push. And as I mentioned, I just got here, so I have no idea how busy this road is. But just for privacy's sake, I did set up this privacy tent thing. It's just like a pop-up tent. And this is going to be fine for just keeping me covered enough that if anybody drives by, they're not going to see some naked guy outside. But I'll show you inside. And then usually what I do is I get this thing close enough to the car that I can just run the shower head through there and just kind of let it hang. But inside of here, you actually have like a little pocket, and that's where I keep like my face wash, shampoo, and then I have some soap in here, obviously. And because it's so dusty out here, this is all just going to turn to mud. So I do have this mat that can get wet. It's just an outside like RV mat that you put down like when you're camping or something, and you can get that wet. So I'm gonna stand on that so that can just dry. Like I'll put it on top of the car, something like that, to dry. Basically, here's my spot. I already got my chair out. There's a fire ring, and that's it. I'm gonna take a shower. All right, and just to show you how good the pressure is when it comes out of here, I'm gonna turn on the pump for a second, and you're actually gonna see, well, first off, it's pretty loud. All right, so that's pressurizing. And I do have a pressure release valve up here. So that will release some of the pressure if the water's not coming out of here. So now it's good. I'm gonna show you. Oh, I gotta turn the valve on. Forgot. I gotta turn that off first. All right, there you go. And voila. I don't wanna waste it, but that's how good the pressure is coming out of there.
The shadows were dancing golden light when sunset glow. Bustling streets and busy traffic.
All right, I'm walking up to Bridal Veil Falls. It is a waterfall that is 620 feet tall.
The roads were drawn like something certain. Every turn laid out so clear. Felt like love, looked like forever. But I fear we had a paper.
Look at the view of the waterfall up there. I'm not sure which one that is, but...
I guess we...
All right, well, today was a work day, and I chose this as my office. It's not El Capitan, but I don't know, just some big rock mountain here. But yeah, I'm down in the valley. I wanted to come down to the valley today, and I was planning on doing a little more sightseeing, but I ended up doing a lot more work than I thought. But I still came to this really great campground and set up my tent and everything in the back, and I'll show you where I've been working all day. So yeah, this has been my office space all day. I put the solar out on the hood so they can charge my battery. I have the Starlink up, and then I put my tent out so I can get some shade because it's actually really hot out here. And there's my laptop. I've been working on my Man with the Lakes video, and table set up with some coffee from this morning. And there's actually a stream over there that I'm gonna jump into to cool off because it is really hot out here. But still, that's what I got to look at all day. It's pretty cold, but man, does it feel good. It's pretty hot out here, especially down here in the valley. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a cold plunge real quick. Oh, yeah. All right, one more cold plunge, and then I gotta drive an hour to get to camp. Whew. All right, let's go find camp. All right, I got up a little early this morning to do a pretty popular hike here in the park. This is the Mist Trail, and this trail will lead up to Nevada Falls. And that's one of the bigger waterfalls here in the park. And they call it the Mist Trail because as you get closer to the falls, you get a lot of mist spraying onto the trail. So much, in fact, that people said, do you want to bring like a poncho or a raincoat or something? So I brought mine, and it is a 6-mile hike, so not too bad, but it is 2,100 feet of elevation gain, and I think it's mostly stairs. So not going to be the most fun really climbing up there, but everybody says it's absolutely worth it. Very popular. When I got here, parking lot was already full. Oh my God, you can walk to Mount Whitney from here. It's 211 miles one way. Whew. That's not where I'm going though. I'm going to the top of Nevada Falls and then down a little bit of the John Muir, but not to Mount Whitney. And sorry if my audio is not the greatest. I accidentally broke my wireless receiver from my wireless mic like a week ago or something like that. And I finally ordered it yesterday. It's supposed to get in Fresno, I don't know, like the next 5 days or something like that, which is perfect because as I leave Yosemite to head to Sequoias and Kings Canyon, I have to drive through Fresno. So I actually have about 4 things I had to order from 4 different companies and they're all going to Fresno. And if you're curious and you've never watched my channel before, how do I get mail on the road? Most of the time I just send it to a UPS store or a post office, but I'll always call them first to make sure that that's okay. So I called this UPS store to make sure, and they said, yes, it's fine. There's usually a pickup fee. It's usually $5 to $10. This one was $5. So that's fine. I'll pay that to have some things shipped there. All right, I'm standing on top of Vernal Falls now. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see all the mist coming off the waterfall. So here's the view from Vernal Falls, and here's all the mist. So you definitely will get wet if you climb up here, but I personally didn't even put my poncho on. I thought it felt really good. The shirt I'm wearing is an SPF shirt. I used to wear this all the time in Florida when I was paddleboarding in like the middle of summer. So it just felt really good for me. All right, and I hope you can hear me okay. I really hate that I broke my wireless microphone, the wireless receiver on my microphone. Bad audio is one of my biggest pet peeves in any video, especially my own. Something I really try to fix and post, but it's very challenging when all you're dealing with is the microphone on a smartphone. But I'm at the top of Nevada Falls now. I'm just having a snack, taking it all in, and I'm gonna start my hike down pretty soon. And a helpful tip, if you decide to come up here to these falls, definitely bring some trekking poles with you. It really helped coming up. You're basically just doing a Stairmaster for 2,100 steps all the way up. It's just stairs or an incline, steady incline the entire way up. So it really helped to pull you up. And a lot of the stairs are very steep. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just do the loop, the John Muir loop to go back down. But if you decide to just get up to the falls and then turn around and do the steps back down, now you're going down on wet steps. So the trekking poles would definitely help you give it a little more traction. Look at the size of these pine cones. There's my foot next to it. Oh my God. It's literally bigger than my foot. Oh my goodness. Oh, there she is, home sweet home. I put the solar out to charge my battery all day. Let's test it. Now, what I usually do is I put these bungee cords on here because the wind does pick this thing up and just kind of make it fly away pretty easily. But so I just put some bungee cords on there. Same thing on the other side. So it's all strapped down. But let's test the battery here. So this morning I got here and it was like at 35%. Let's see here. 100%, baby. Fridge has been running all day. All right, awesome hike. Highly recommend this one. The Mist Trail, going all the way up to Nevada Falls, and then take the John Muir Trail back down to Loop Trail. One of my favorite hikes I've ever done. This was beautiful the whole way up and whole way down, and absolutely bring some trekking poles and waterproof shoes. These really saved my legs. I actually feel surprisingly good. I just did 10 miles, 2,400 feet elevation gain I did overall, according to all trails. But I think this thing actually really saved my feet and my legs. I actually feel pretty good. I'm actually going to go down the street and go to Lower Yosemite Falls. That's like a 1 mile hike. It's more of a scenic thing. But I'm going to go down there. Hopefully I can park, because parking right here this week is pretty busy. If you're planning to come in here in the summer, plan on crowds. All right, well, welcome to, I think, camp spot number 5 or so that I've stayed at around Yosemite National Park. I don't even know how many nights I've been here. I think it's about 5. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I don't even know what day I got to the park area, but let's just say it's like day number 5 or so. But this is still on the west side of the park, and I've been staying just outside the entrance. This is maybe about 2 miles from the west entrance here, and I've stayed in multiple different places. I haven't videotaped every single one of them because honestly I just didn't feel like there was much merit to that. I don't feel like you probably want to see every single spot. I mean, most of the spots look pretty similar to each other, and I've gone back to a couple of spots that I've stayed at before, but there's been people at them. So I found this spot last night and I like the spot a lot. It's nice and quiet. I'll probably try to come back here tonight. It does get a little cooler in this spot for some reason, I guess just because there's more trees. But like last night, I don't have any cell service, and I didn't feel like hooking up the Starlink and waiting for it to turn on just to check the weather. But it felt like it was in the low 50s. Like I had a flannel shirt on and a hoodie, and I put my hoodie like hood on over my head, and I was still a little cool. I woke up, I slept with the windows actually all the way up, mostly because I know this is bear country and I have food in the car. And usually in like really good, nice mountain spots, I like to sleep with the windows down, like to have that nice cool air come into the car, especially when I have a 10-degree sleeping bag I sleep in every night. It just feels really nice. But being bear country and having food in the car just doesn't feel very safe. So I rolled the windows up, but I still slept really comfortably and nice and cool in the car. So pretty good spot. But I am going to go back into the park today. I'm going to go back into the valley and just kind of wander around. I like to get out of the car and actually see like El Capitan and stuff like that from the ground level. But I'm not going to do any major hikes or anything today. All right, let's go ahead and clean up breakfast and let's go into the park today. All right, well, so as I mentioned, I'm down in the valley today. I'm just doing a really simple little hike. It takes you through 2 meadows. I'm currently through Sentinel Meadow, I think, and this will take you through something called Cook's Meadow, and it's really beautiful out here. I got views of Half Dome and Upper and Lower Falls. If you do come here and you're looking to do a really simple, this is like 2 miles around, simple hike with minimal elevation, it's like 82 feet or something like that you gain up. This is a beautiful hike. You should definitely check this one out. Well, today has been an absolute awesome, relaxing day. I just came down here in the valley and I've basically just been chilling out. I sat at a parking spot for several hours this morning, getting a really good shot of Upper Falls. And then I drove over to a spot where you can get really close to El Capitan. And I kind of walked around for a little bit, just got some pictures and video, but mostly just chilled out in that spot. Did end up doing a little bit of work, but you know, I got to pay the bills somehow. So, and then I decided to come back to this beach because it is hot and the water feels good. and I'm gonna head to camp pretty early tonight. I got one more day here in the park. I'm gonna go do a hike to Mount Watkins. It's a 6-mile round trip hike, and I think you only do like elevation gain like 1,000 feet, so it's not very bad. So it's a good way to end my week here in Yosemite, and that's my plan. All right, well, something I just learned. You have to have a reservation to get into the park for the rest of summer. And I did not know that. I've been coming and going all week and never knew anything about a reservation system starting today. So I got up today to do a hike. I was going to go down to Cuyahoga Pass. It's an hour away to do this hike. And as I got there to the entrance, it was a little late. It was about 8:15 or something like that this morning. There was a line to get into the park. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, that's on me. You know, I was thinking it's on me to get up here this late because it's Sunday and it's Father's Day. And so I thought, oh, well, you know, of course it's going to be busy today. It's all right. I'll just stay in this line. I have my national park pass in my hand. I was ready to give it to the guys. And as I got closer and closer to the entrance station, I started seeing signs that said, please have your reservation and ID ready. And I was like, what? Reservation? And then the sign said, must have a reservation from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I was like, shoot, I don't have a reservation. I didn't know anything about this. So I got all the way up there and the guy's like, yeah, do you have your reservation? And I was like, no, I've been here all week and didn't know anything about it. He's like, yeah, sorry, for the next 2 months, you have to have a reservation to get in. So again, you don't have to have one before 6 a.m. and you don't have to have one after 2 p.m. But I mean, the peak times of the day when you want to go hiking and stuff like that in the morning stuff, you're going to need it. So can't go into the park today. I did go online. I got back to my camp spot, which is literally just 2 miles down the street from the entrance. Got back to my campsite, set up Starlink, got on recreation.gov, and got a timed entrance for tomorrow. But that means today, I don't have much going on. There is like a little swimming pool kind of area, like a watering hole, like spring thing down the street I might go to. I could start on this video, so that's fine. Luckily, I was planning on staying in the area for the next 2 days because I was planning on getting down to Fresno probably tomorrow. But when I have 4 things being delivered to me from 4 different places to the same UPS store, and 2 of them are already there. The third one's getting there today. And then one of them is not arriving until Tuesday. So I was like, well, why not just wait to get down to Fresno? I don't want to be in a city any more than I have to. I'd rather be up here in beauty and nature. So why don't I just leave this area on Tuesday and drive down to Fresno and get my mail and do all the other errands I need to do in a city. So luckily I was already planning on staying here for the next 2 days, but now if I really want to do this hike, I definitely have to. So just know to do your research before you come to a national park, even maybe while you're at that national park, like I am. Continue to do your research every day. Go on to the NPS website or recreation.gov and look these kind of things up, because especially during peak season like this, I mean, it's been so busy in the park all week that it makes sense. I understand why they're doing it. They need to limit the amount of people that are coming in, and it does last for 3 days. So if you're only coming to the Yosemite for like 3 days or in the summer, just get the one pass, lasts for 3 days. So anyways, let's go down the street a little bit and try to find a cool place to jump in the water and maybe do some work. All right, well, I'm at a place called Rainbow Pools. I've actually been here all day since I couldn't go into the park. And yeah, it's just this really beautiful little like recreational day use area that you can swim around the water. And it's got obviously a gorgeous waterfall and everything. It's awesome. But the water's really, really cold. I swam around for a little bit to cool off, and it's very cold water. But other than that, I'm just kind of relaxing, having a nice little relaxed day until I head back to camp. All right, I'm gonna be mad at myself if I don't jump off this cliff, so I'm about to go do that. I don't have an action camera or a GoPro or anything like that to jump off with, and I'm not jumping off with my cell phone, so Unfortunately, the only footage you're going to get is from my cell phone from across the lake or the pond, so that's what you get. All right, well, today turned out to be a very expensive day for me. When I jumped off the cliff and hit the water, my Apple Watch came off my wrist. And when I came to the surface and realized it was gone, I borrowed someone's goggles to go down and look for it. But the water's very cold. The current is pushing against you from the waterfall, and the surface is a good 10 to 15 feet down. So all that against you, you're trying to catch your breath, and I just never found it. I think I saw a Apple Watch at one point when I was down there, but it was further down, and I just couldn't catch my breath, so I had to come up. And then when I went back down to try to find it, I just couldn't find it again, so lost my Apple Watch. I definitely don't have the money right now to replace it, so it's what it is. People ask me all the time, aren't you scared or nervous to camp out by yourself? No, I'm actually not. But tonight I might actually be. Let me show you what I just found. So I'm over here camping. I look behind me and there's a knife just sticking out of this giant log. And it's like just like a steak knife. Like, were they trying to like cut down the rest of this giant log? I don't know. All right, well, it's my last day in the park, and today I'm doing a hike out to a place called Mount Watkins. And this is not a popular trail in the park. In fact, so much that it's not even on any of the maps that the park system will give you. The trailhead has no signage that says this way to Mount Watkins or gives you a trail marker or anything like that. This one is strictly on all trails, and the comment section has weeks, if not months, of comments in between each. So this is just not a popular trail, but I chose it because it's only 6 miles round trip, a little over 1,000 feet elevation gain, and all the reviews said that you get stunning views of Half Dome. So I'll be across the valley, basically looking at Half Dome. So it should be a spectacular view. But yeah, I got to get down to Fresno after today. Maybe even after this hike, I'll drive to Fresno, who knows. But all of my mail arrived there, and I have got a ton of errands to run when I get there. I've got to go to the grocery store real bad, and I've got to wash the car, and I've got to do laundry, and all the other normal human things. But yeah, let's get to Mount Watkins. All right, well, sorry again for the wind. One of the things I'm picking up in Fresno is a new wireless receiver, so that I'll have much better sound for my wireless mic. But here's the view from Mount Watkins. That is Half Dome off in the distance, and that's pretty cool because I think Glacier Point is way over there on that side. So the only times I've ever seen Half Dome from this kind of height, it's always been on that side. So I'm seeing it on this side. So I think this is the side where the cables, they go up, because you can hike up to Half Dome. I looked into it a little bit, but all the hikes were a little bit out of my my scope and range, I think, right now. And plus you have to have a permit for it. But I think the cables going up are on this side. But yes, stellar views from up here, and just so quiet the whole time coming up here. Just beautiful. All right, well, what better place than to end the video right here in front of this stunning view. But I have just absolutely loved my time here in Yosemite. This is a park that I've been to once before, but just on vacation for 2 days. And while I got to see, all the major highlights, I didn't feel like I got a lot of time to really, get vested in the park and feel like I was actually there for a good amount of time. So being here for like a week now, this is what I've been wanting to do, like pretty much all year. Since I started traveling, I've been wanting to come here and spend like a good week in the park. So this has just been absolutely amazing. Just one of my favorite places. Everyone should come here at least sometime in your life. From here, I am headed into the Sequoias and Kings Canyon, And that is the only reason I'm leaving this spot. If Kings Canyon and Sequoias National Parks were not like 2 or 3 hours away, then I probably would just stay here till the end of June. But I do have to get down to Fresno first. As I mentioned a couple of times, I got mail down there and I have to do a bunch of errands. So I'll end up spending probably a good day, maybe even a day and a half there. I got so much stuff to take care of. But until then, thank you for escaping normal life with me.